Because there is no other place to be. Goodbye, third quarter, hello NCTV. The bell rings and the students fill the hall. It's time for spring break, we all hear the call. Because there is no other place to be. Goodbye, third quarter, hello NCTV.
Welcome to NCTV. My name is Katelyn Cooper.
And I'm Brandon Atkin.
Thank you for joining us for your last 39 minutes before spring break.
Take a break from stop looking at the clock every 20 seconds, step back, watch NCTV, have fun. It could be a good time. Yeah.
Our first story today is about the recent Dodgeball Tournament that was a fundraiser for the Angel Fund. Let's take a look.
With National Honor Society, we're hosting a dodgeball tournament, and all the funds will go to a local organization type. It's called the Angel Fund. We actually had one last year, so we're kind of continuing the tradition.
Brandon and I have been working together to get this thing all planned. She got the space reserved. I made sure we had the dodgeballs all ready to go. We're just working together to make sure this goes as smoothly as possible. Well, there's hiccups in everything you do because you never know, because people back out at the last second, especially with high school kids. We don't plan more than 2 days in advance. So it's difficult to make sure everything's planned, but we work together pretty well, and we have the Honor Society behind us, which really helps.
So we're actually going to start with a round robin type thing where all the teams will hopefully get to play each other, and then afterwards then we'll set the teams into a bracket, and then we'll have a winner.
Dodgeball is that quintessential school PE sport that everyone really enjoys. That, along with kickball, it's one of those things you hang your hat on, who's the best dodgeball player in class. So it's always fun to see from elementary school to high school, is it still the same way playing dodgeball, or can we still win as a team, or are we still good friends together kind of thing. There's always the best dress competition where people dress up and teams try to dress as ridiculous as possible so they can have fun, not only playing dodgeball, but raising money for the Angel Fund. There's concession stands there that raise money as well.
We are the blue-collar workforce. You see, I got my cut-off jeans, my wife beater, and my mullet.
The Angel Fund is really through our school, and it's where teachers, if they see a student that needs help with like monetary things, like a Thanksgiving dinner, or getting like Christmas presents for someone or something of that, then they will go to the Angel Fund and present it to them, and then they will help the students anonymously.
It's just an overall good time and a good place for people to come hang out.
It's a great thing when people help participate in a thing that really helps our kids in our school. For our next story, we have a delicious story about math and pie.
Speaking of which, here's today's trivia question. Which civilization discovered pie? Leave your answers in the live chat for an opportunity to win extremely loud and incredibly close, as well as a special collector's edition of a Mad comic book.
Now, here's our next story.
Pi Day is March 14th, and the reason it's March 14th is 314. Last year was Super Pi Day because the digits of pi are 3.1415, and it happened at approximately 9:26 and 0.5 seconds in the morning last year. This year they call it Rounded Pi Day because if you round to the 10,000th place, you get 3.1416. So, on Pi Day, it's been a tradition in my class since the first year that I taught, where kids bring in pi and we learn about pi and discuss irrational numbers and just different fun facts about pi. It grew the first year that on Pi Day that I taught. There was only, I think, 2 pies brought in. Last year was the record, and over 2 days there were 106 pies brought in. So by my students, and so we share. It was not like I eat all of them, though. You know, I might have a piece or two each day, but for the most part, we share and have a good time and learn about pi and how it's a neat number. There was actually a teacher that I had in college who celebrated Pi Day, and she said if we want a free piece of pie, go over to her office during office hours, and we get a piece of pie and talk about math and math facts and things like that. So my first year that I did, I kind of casually mentioned that it was going to be Pi Day, and some kids asked if they could bring in a pie. I said sure. And then the next year, you know, it kind of grew, and then it's just kept growing to where it is right now, where we just learn a lot about circles and pi and different mathematical facts and history about pi and things. Apple is definitely the most common. So you see apple a lot because it's most people's favorite. Pumpkin is another one that's pretty popular. But the ones that go really fast are usually like the French silk, the chocolate ones. Kids like those. So.
If I can recite 8 decimals of pi, can I have a slice?
You can have a slice of pie, yes.
3.14159.265.
Okay.
Sweet. Too bad I don't have a math class this semester. Next up, a little less fun day that's coming up soon, ACT testing.
Preparing students for the ACT a number of different ways. Through first semester, we introduced a lot of ACT vocabulary into the test and quizzes as it applies to different units. And we also then, in probably about every other test, there's critical reading skills, and students have to pull things out the same like they might have to do with ACT. The week before ACT, I've got a few things planned for this year where we would be doing ACT-style questioning and answering and things like that the students would see on the test.
I prepare them by giving them practice questions a few weeks before the ACT to get them prepared to answering questions that are multiple choice. In math, it's particularly handy.
I might have to go with easier. Honestly, I think students get a little whipped up over it, but maybe rightly so. You know, the ACT and your score can open and close many doors for you.
So it's highlighted for a reason. Colleges look at it, and we expect many of our students to be college bound, if not all of them. We try to prepare all of them to be ready at the next level. And so colleges take a big stake in the ACT. You had to pay for it. I went up to the college on a Saturday. I took the ACT in a small room, did the 4 different tests. For me, the hardest thing was pacing. Going fast enough to get every single question done, but at the same time, taking the time to actually read and try every single question.
We went to an off-campus site. It was on a Saturday morning. We just basically, myself and a bunch of friends, got in a vehicle, drove to the off-campus site. We had to be there by, I think, 8 in the morning, show our ID at the door. It was proctored by somebody we had never met before. And then we went and had some fun after the test. So.
For those of you who don't know, testing this year is Tuesday, April 19th. Now for a story that you can really jam out to, the folks at Sonic Rainbow are going to teach us about vinyls and CDs.
Yeah, since the increase of online music sales, you saw it initially. This happened a few years ago when it was definitely like iTunes and things like that, and even streaming services. You did see an initial decrease. Now that was back when CDs were the most popular, form of music, but it's come back in a weird way now because vinyl has come back. It's the resurgence of LPs and people wanting the tangible piece of music. And the reason I think that's happened is because with the digital age, you throw on your headphones, you put on your iPod, and you just listen to something while you do something. And it's just a background thing. But with vinyl, you can't just lug it around on your hip and, work out or, do whatever work. And you have to sit and pay attention to the needle, making sure it doesn't go all the way across, messing up your record player and everything. You listen to the music, and then that becomes what you do. You hear the artistic statement that they're putting across the artist, whether it's an old Johnny Cash record, or we have what's called Record Store Day every year now, where there's exclusive releases that come out, and we sell those, and there's like limited quantities, and that's our biggest day of the year. So it's been funny to watch the evolution of maybe, I'm not going to say the death of CDs, because I still think the quality of a CD is good as long as it's not scratched, but people got away from CDs, we got into the digital age, but now there's vinyl pressing plants all over the world. I read Brazil is going to have a pressing plant operational in a couple months because the demand has come back, and I think it's because music fans want to do what they've always done and just listen to music and enjoy music, not while they do something, but as an artistic statement.
Well, that was a rockin' story. Just another reminder of our trivia question. Our trivia question today is, which civilization was the first civilization to discover pie? Make sure to leave your answer in the live chat. Next up, Big Brother is watching. I'm just playing around, but there are a lot of cameras in our school that are watching us for our safety. Let's take a look at a story with some information about our parking lot cameras.
We're getting all new cameras outside. As they do the construction projects, they're going to be putting in cameras pretty much everywhere for school safety and student safety and things like that. Even if something small happened, like your car got hit in the parking lot, we'll be able to look at the cameras and be able to tell who hit it, so you won't have to spend your money and fix your car without somebody who's responsible for fixing it for you.
Assuming that all of our students are perfect all the time, I think there's probably no need to have that. Given the fact that sometimes kids make poor choices and do things they shouldn't do, then I think it's probably going to take a little bit of the burden off of somebody having to play watchdog all the time. I don't think they're the be-all, end-all for disciplinary action or for security measures. I think we still need people around, but I think it certainly allows for a little bit of support for people who need it. Like, our security staff work pretty hard, and for them to have a little bit of support that is objective, you know what I mean? It's not another person saying he said, she said, this is actually what happened. So I think that's kind of helpful. I know things happen that shouldn't happen in the parking lots, and that can be fairly, well, whatever. They're not supposed to go on in the parking lot. I think kids leaving campus when they shouldn't is probably something that cameras can help with. Maybe.
Let's close the aperture on that story and move our sights to another one, the river. Our next story is about river restoration.
Well, this project is called our Platte River Revival, and it started in 2006. It was founded by a group called the Two Fly Foundation in the city of Casper. And we started out to restore the North Platte River, but it took us basically about 9 years to raise the money to get this far. The whole idea is to make the river where we're improving water quality, we have less erosion, and we're improving habitat and hopefully recreation all at the same time. We hope that it will also drive economic development, that more people will want to come and fish here, that this fishery will eventually be as nice as the one toward Gray Reef. And that's some people's idea of what the project is. The city is in the project because it will improve water quality. Behind me is one of the 3 wetlands that we made in Murad Park on purpose to catch the polluted stormwater that comes off Wyoming Boulevard. So every rain that falls, any snow melt, picks up pollutants from cars, anything anybody's dumped on, and it was just carrying it straight in here and straight to the river, one of the most major sources of pollution. With the wetlands, it catches the water coming off Wyoming Boulevard, it holds it. There will be wetland plants eventually that will come up. They're planted there, but it'll take about 2 or 3 growing seasons to start seeing them. It holds the water and filters it through the ground and filters out some of those bad and harsh sediments. So it's part of our river project. When you're talking about restoring a river, you're talking about restoring not only the river, but the riparian area, including the cottonwood galleries and the vegetation that goes with it. The project that we've just completed in Murad Park, we still have yet to do the vegetation to put the boat ramp back. Started last October and finished in December, and that's about a $1.3 million project that we have invested in the infrastructure of the city.
Speaking of $1.3 million.
What are your plans after high school? Our next story, different NC students tell us their thoughts.
We asked NC students what their plans are for after high school. Let's see what they have to say.
I'm a junior.
I'm a junior.
I'm a junior.
I'm a senior. I'm a sophomore.
Locally at first if I get a scholarship.
I want to go to college.
Yep, I plan to go to college.
going to college.
I'm going to go to Casper College.
Next year, I plan on going to Casper College to play basketball and getting a degree in elementary education. My plans are to be a physical therapist and go to college for basketball.
Business, I think.
To Casper College for my first 2 years, then I'm going to go out of state somewhere.
I'm staying in state.
Casper.
Well, I'm going to get my gen eds out of the way, and then I'm going to nursing school. Here, I'm going to go to the nursing program, and I'm going to become a registered nurse. And hopefully afterwards, I'll move to Australia.
Computer science.
I'm going to major in elementary education with a minor in library science.
Wow, NC has some pretty good goals. I really hope they accomplish them in the future.
It's good to know that some people are better prepared for their future than others.
In case you guys did not know, today is National Chocolate Covered Raisin Day. Well, that's it for today's show.
Enjoy your spring break.
Thank you for watching NCTV.
Straight from the Mustangs.
Or Phillies.
Raisin-filled mouth.
Because there is no other place to be.
I thought I was expecting like a
By third quarter below NCTV. The bell rings and the students fill the hall. It's time for spring break. We all hear the call. Because there is no other place to